Welcome to the story of the cursed bride. In this tale, we journey to a peaceful Nigerian village where a young woman's courage and love are put to the ultimate test. As you listen, think about the choices we make and the power of standing up against darkness. Once upon a time, in the peaceful village of Oko, there lived a beautiful girl named Amara. Oko was a place where everyone knew each other, and they all lived like one big family. The village was surrounded by lush green forests, with the sound of birds singing in the trees. The people of Oko were kind-hearted and full of life. But little did they know, something dark was about to happen. Amara was known as the most beautiful girl in the village. Her skin was smooth and dark like rich cocoa, her eyes sparkled like the stars, and her smile could light up the darkest night. She was kind, always helping others, then everyone loved her. One day, Amara's parents arranged for her to marry a man named Ekene, who came from a neighboring village. He was wealthy and handsome, and Amara's parents believed he would take good care of her. Ekene arrived in the village with a grand entourage. He was tall, with broad shoulders, and wore rich, colorful clothes that shimmered in the sunlight. His eyes, however, were cold and calculating, though he masked them with a charming smile. The villagers were in awe of him and believed he was the perfect match for Amara. But little did they know, Ekene had a dark secret. The day of the wedding arrived, and the whole village was buzzing with excitement. The ceremony was grand, with traditional dances, music, and feasting. Amara looked stunning in her bridal attire, a beautiful traditional gown adorned with intricate beadwork, and her head was crowned with fresh flowers. But as she and Ekene exchanged vows, a cold wind suddenly swept through the village, and the sky darkened. The elders whispered that it was a bad omen. That night, after the celebrations, Amara and Ekene retired to their new home. But as soon as Amara entered the house, she felt a strange chill in the air. The house was grand but eerily quiet. Ekene's charming smile had faded, replaced by a stern and distant look. Amara felt uneasy, but she dismissed it, thinking she was just tired from the long day. As the days passed, Amara noticed strange things happening around the house. At night, she would hear whispers and footsteps, but when she checked, no one was there. Ekene became more distant, leaving the house early in the morning and returning late at night without saying a word. One night, Amara found a mysterious old book hidden under the bed. The book was filled with strange symbols and drawings that sent chills down her spine. One day, while Ekene was away, an old woman from the village came to visit Amara. The old woman was known for her wisdom and knowledge of the village's ancient stories. She looked at Amara with sorrowful eyes and revealed the truth: Ekene was cursed. He had made a pact with dark forces to gain his wealth, but in return, he was doomed never to find true happiness. Any woman he married would be cursed with a terrible fate. Amara was devastated. She loved Ekene, but now she knew that staying with him would bring her nothing but sorrow. She felt trapped, torn between her love for him and the fear of the curse. Every night, the strange occurrences in the house grew worse. Shadows moved on their own, and the whispers grew louder. Amara realized that she had to do something before it was too late. Determined to break the curse, Amara decided to seek help from a powerful village elder who was known for his knowledge of ancient rituals. She went to his hut in the dead of night, desperate for a solution. The elder listened to her story and told her that there was a way to break the curse, but it would come at a great cost. Amara would have to make a sacrifice that would change her life forever. The elder prepared for the ritual, gathering rare herbs, sacred items, and ancient texts. He warned Amara that the ritual would be dangerous and that she must be brave. That night, under the light of the full moon, the elder began the ritual. As he chanted ancient incantations, the air grew thick with tension, and dark clouds gathered overhead. Amara could feel the presence of the dark forces fighting back. As the ritual continued, the dark forces grew stronger. The wind howled, and the ground trembled. Amara could feel an evil presence surrounding her, trying to break her spirit. But she stood strong, focusing on her love for her family and her village. The elder's voice grew louder, commanding the dark forces to leave. It was a fierce battle of wills, with the very fate of Amara's soul hanging in the balance. Suddenly, a dark shadow materialized in front of Amara. It was the spirit of the curse, a terrifying figure with hollow eyes and a twisted grin. It spoke in a voice that sent chills down her spine, telling her that she would never break free. But Amara, fueled by her love and bravery, confronted the spirit. She declared that she would rather face the curse than live in fear. Her words cut through the darkness, and the spirit howled in anger. In that moment of confrontation, the elder saw an opening and used all his power to break the curse. He called upon the ancient spirits of the village to aid him, and together, they forced the dark spirit back. The shadow screamed as it was banished, dissolving into the night. The wind died down, and the sky cleared. The curse was broken. The next morning, the village awoke to a new day, free from the dark cloud that had hung over them. Amara returned to her home, feeling a sense of peace she had never known. Ekene, now free from the curse, apologized to Amara, tears in his eyes. He had been blinded by his quest for wealth and had never meant to cause her harm. Amara forgave him, but she knew that their paths would now take different directions. Amara decided to stay in the village and help those in need. She became known as the wise woman who had faced the darkness and won. The villagers respected her even more and sought her advice in times of trouble. As for Ekene, he left the village to seek redemption, determined to make amends for his past mistakes. With the curse lifted, the village of Oko flourished once again. The trees seemed greener, the rivers clearer, and the people happier. They would always remember the brave young woman who saved them from darkness. And so, the village lived in peace, with the story of Amara, the cursed bride who broke the spell, passed down from generation to generation. The story of the cursed bride teaches us the importance of courage, love, and forgiveness. It shows that true bravery comes from facing our fears, and that no matter how dark things may seem, there is always hope when we stand up against evil. It also reminds us that making the right choices, even when difficult, can lead to healing and new beginnings. If you enjoyed the story, please like, share, and subscribe to Enthrall Tales for more stories like this. Thank you.